This is Jonathan Adler for the U.S. Nationalist Report. I'm here in Koreatown, continuing my investigation report on this neighborhood. Very interesting area here. There's a lot of nice shops here, stores. Here, there appears to be a Buddhist temple, some type of Buddhist temple here. Very nice looking temple. Looks very expensive. And they have a nice quote from Robert F. Kennedy, Cesar Chavez, George Bernard Shaw. They have quotes from Cesar Chavez, George Bernard Shaw. Where are you ladies from? Are you from Korea? Have a nice day. Hey, how much for a balloon, man? What? Can you do $2? How about $2? No? I can pay you $2. So here's another one of our illegal alien street vendors. And they don't seem to like Americans much. They're not willing to negotiate. I'll try interviewing some people here. I want to find out what they think about the Korean businesses not employing white and black U.S. citizens. I'd like to know why they won't hire any non-Korean workers. If they come here and want to set up shop, their businesses, they should have to hire U.S. citizen workers and not discriminate. Hey, are you from Korea? Have a nice day. So it's hard to talk to people. I'll try interviewing some people here. Nice weather here in Los Angeles. It looks like a lot of these buildings, this used to be a very busy area. You can see there's not much going on here. And this kind of goes back to my point about them emptying out these cities. You have these nice buildings and they're mostly empty. This one looks like there's not much activity and they're doing some kind of renovation. And they've always got some really obnoxious bums hanging out bothering people. I distinguish between bums and homeless. Bums are people that are parasites, don't want to work, do anything productive. Homeless is different because there are working homeless and productive Americans that just can't afford the sky-high rents here. And that's a phenomena in the United States where we do have thousands of working homeless. But a bum is somebody that doesn't want to do anything productive and just leech off of productive people. So that's the difference between a bum and a homeless. That's why I don't like to criticize all homeless people as bad. That's not the case. There are a certain percentage that have major issues. About 30% are drug addicts and mentally ill. But the rest are people that want jobs, and if the illegal aliens are taking their jobs, it's not acceptable. I see very few white people in this neighborhood, mostly Asian, and then the next highest group would be Latino. And some blacks, not too many, very few whites. Try talking to this guy. Hey, excuse me, I'm with the U.S. Nationalist Report. I have time for a brief interview. Have a nice day. Okay, so I want to ask that guy what he thought about these businesses not hiring black and white U.S. citizens, but I guess it's too busy. But it's sad because a lot of young guys like that, they're not going to get work here. I know from experience that the most discrimination here in Los Angeles is against straight white males, and then especially white males over 35. You have time for an interview? Have a nice day. So most people don't want to talk to anybody. They just want to go about their business. But the problem with that is when people ignore what's going on in their environment, things deteriorate because people aren't paying attention to the big picture, which is that the globalists are implementing their agenda to destroy the United States, turn it into a third world type banana republic. So we need to be doing something about that. It's kind of strange here. You have time for interview? Speak English? You work for the city? You have time for an interview? You have time for an interview? All right. How you doing? Where you from? From Korea? Okay. No English? Okay. You guys work in this neighborhood? Okay, you just visiting? All right, so people aren't very friendly. They don't want to talk. I'll keep trying. This is a nice temple here, but I was going to say that I consider this hypocritical. They're preaching to people. This Korean temple is preaching to people on morals when they're being very racist, not employing non-Korean workers. So I consider all these quotes, this is just propaganda. It's just kind of making their image look good, but in reality, if you look around this Koreatown, they don't hire non-Koreans for jobs. Maybe that flies in Korea, but here in the United States, that's not acceptable to real Americans. So I'll try to reach more people. This guy looks like Latino. So very few white people here. As you may know, the white population of California, the U.S. citizen white population, has decreased 50%, jaw-dropping 50% since the mid-'80s. It was about 80% white, now it's down to about 30%. So that's bad because that only helps the globalists. And like I said, it's not fair to be discriminating against white, middle, working class people. I was born, in the late 20th century. I didn't invent slavery or financially benefit off it, so I shouldn't be penalized just because I'm white. Plus, I'm Jewish, so I also get discriminated for being Jewish. So that's one reason I got involved in this. I'm really tired of the constant affirmative action, discrimination against whites, especially when I have a degree and I could do 90% of these jobs, but they won't hire me because I'm white. And now they won't hire people just because they're American, even though we're in America. because the globalist agenda is to favor foreigners over U.S. citizens. Okay, I've got a guy just standing here next to me. Not sure what this is about. Not sure why people want to suddenly stand next to me. You see a white guy, you see an older looking retired guy. In other words, somebody with no job. Now here we got a black homeless guy. It's kind of sad that these Asians are getting really rich and they don't offer a black guy like this a job. You see the irony here that this guy doesn't get offered any work from the rich Asians, but they only hire Asians, but they have the nerve to preach morality here, which I think is pretty disgusting. People are getting pretty tired of this nonsense, this kind of double standard. Okay, so all these buses, not too much. As I said, there's not really that many people really around here. I don't see too many people really working here. Kind of interesting that it's the second biggest city, and you don't see too many people working here. But apparently that's part of the agenda to clear Americans out. Over here, you see a homeless guy just sleeping in front of this empty store. Right here. Try interviewing this guy. I'm with a news company. You're trying to interview?
Hi.
Can you do a short interview? Are you from here?
Yeah.
Okay, you from Koreatown?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm investigating the employment here.
I don't know about
All the businesses here, they only employ Koreans. Do you think that's okay?
I don't know.
What do you mean, you have an opinion?
I have no
What's your opinion on that?
I have no opinions.
Do you own a business? No comment? Why are you wearing a mask? Ma'am, can I ask why you're wearing a mask? So these guys, people don't want to talk to you, but we need to know about this because it's costing us a lot of jobs, guys. People are going to come here with money, they have to obey laws. So people just ignore you, disrespectful against Americans. They basically just transplanted Korea here and don't want to abide by U.S. laws and hire non-Koreans. A lot of these people don't speak good English, so they would actually make, some people might claim, well, the Koreans do a better job, but that's not really true because if it's a restaurant and they don't speak good English, they're going to lose customers. They need to hire a few people that are real Americans that speak good English. So this is not even good for their business. Okay, so I'll try a few more people. I might have to do another segment, try another part of town here. But you got this big building here. It's hard to tell if there's many people actually living in here. This out front company, they appear to do most of the billboards in Los Angeles. And on my other channel, they do appear to heavily discriminate against U.S. citizens, non-Latino. They even discriminate against Hispanics that don't speak Spanish. So this used to be a heavily Jewish area too, and most of the Jews left. Now it's mostly Koreans. So not very multicultural. So-called multiculturalism is a sham to fool people into to getting invaded by third world people that don't like America. So that's just a sham. Very rare to see a real multicultural area in the United States that really works. What we need is more assimilation. People that move here should learn English and assimilate American values. It's kind of sad to see these people. It never occurs to them to pick up some garbage. If they cared about this country, they would pick up some trash. Instead, the kid just kicks the cup away instead of thinking of picking it up. So they're not learning good values. Um, might sign off soon. There's just not that many people walking around here. I don't see many people really working here. Hey, you work here in town here? You work here? Hey, you work at one of the businesses here? Huh? Okay, so I'm not having much luck getting anybody to do an interview with me. I've talked, but not really give out any information. So I'm concerned that we have a lot of these people in our country that don't really want to be friendly and assimilate into American culture. I think we need to be putting our foot down on this. We should only be admitting people that like our culture and want to assimilate, not people that just want to bring a miniature version of their country and occupy United States territory with their miniature Korea or Mexico. All right, so I think I might sign off now. I'll resume later. A couple sketchy people here. This guy was screaming a lot. Just make sure he wasn't doing anything illegal. He's acting very suspicious. Shouting, sounding threatening. But they're leaving the park area now. But I think it is kind of ironic that they have this nice, expensive park and it's all gated so nobody can get in. Only the special people, I guess, maybe members only. But then they have these big signs preaching to Americans about morality. So I don't know, that doesn't really wash with me. So I'm gonna sign off for this. Somebody harassed me with the call. I'll wait for it to stop. So we got a disabled Latino guy. The problem with that is if they're illegal, if you multiply all these people with problems, and we have Americans with problems, that's costing us billions of dollars that we can't afford. That's what bankrupts our middle working class. Hey, do you work around here, sir? Do you work around here?
No,
You work up here? Can I ask you a question? For a news report. Huh? In a rush? Okay, look like a nice guy, but doesn't want to talk. So I think I'm going to sign off now. This is Jonathan Adler. This is Jonathan Adler signing off for the U.S. Nationalist Report. I'll report more later today in downtown Los Angeles.